Testing, Reverend Tim.
Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place here for you.
You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through.
Well, the Spirit waits with open arms. God's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in.
Come on in, come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of Spirit. We've waited so long for your homecoming day.
God knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe your tears away.
Well, the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been,
Come on in.
come on in.
There is room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, welcome home. Come on, welcome in. Welcome home. Come on, welcome in. You are loved and you belong here. You are loved and you belong here. Come on in. Aloha.
Aloha.
And the beginning of Mele Kalikimaka. Aren't you excited? All right. Please stand as you are able and sing along with us. Angels, we have heard on high. Angels, we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echoing the joyous strains.
good morning, everyone. Happy December, and welcome to Unity Church of Hawaii. My name is Johanna Kelly, and I will serve as your platform assistant today. And it's very good to see each and every one of you on this December morn. Well, here at Unity, we hold that centered in God, we elevate global consciousness through the realization of oneness. That means that you, I, the person that is sitting right next to you, we are all one. We are all connected with that divine consciousness, and we just happen to be that individual expression of the oneness, which is spirit, which is source. And in the month of December, we celebrate life. And right now, your heart is beating. You're breathing in and out the life, the very life and breath of God. That life and breath fills your lungs, providing sustainment in this now moment. And as we just breathe in that life from the Most High, knowing that we are connected, that we are one, that this is a joyous season, let us say an affirmation as we affirm this truth together. I am one with God. I am one with the life-giving source, centered in the Christ. I give life. I am life. And I love my life. And we just breathe that in, knowing that God is the giver, the sustainer, whatever and whoever we know God to be in our own lives, that all things are possible with this one true source. And you know what else is possible? Us connecting with one another right here, right now. So please rise and stand, hugs, high fives, however you feel to connect with your neighbor.
Please remain standing as you are able and sing along with us. What child is this?
Thank you.
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, when angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping.
This is Christ the King,
Whom shepherds watch and angels sing. Haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh, a peasant's king to own him. The King of kings salvation brings, that loving hearts enfold him. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary.
Oh, I love these Christmas songs, and It's hard for me to believe that it's getting close to Christmas. I'm used to seeing snow and ice. And anyway, it's a little different here, eh? And so I just welcome all of you here. I'm Reverend Tim Lytle, senior minister here. And if this is your first time here or first time in a long time, that is, first time since I've been here, we especially welcome you here to Unity Church of Hawaii. And we have a gift for you. We have a kukui nut lei, which represents the light that you are. We also have a packet, which has a free breakfast pass in it. And we have a marvelous breakfast. So after the service, you can take this over and get a free breakfast. If you don't have time today, when you come back next week, you can bring that free breakfast pass with you then and get your free breakfast. So we just welcome all of you. If this is your first time or first time in a long time, would you please honor us by standing so that we can bring you these gifts? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. All right. And so we're going to give you a blessing. If you don't mind remaining standing, you don't have to, but let's get the energy flowing here. And as we extend our hands, repeat after me. We bless you. We recognize who you really are. You are the love and light of God. Here on this planet to do amazing things. And we are here to love you, to support you, and to celebrate you. Welcome to Unity. Let's give them some love. Thank you for being here. High fives. Oh, you came from where the snow is?
Yeah. Where'd you come from?
Oh, Wichita, Kansas. Where'd you come from?
Way up north in Maine.
In Maine. Hey, we have some other Mainites over here. Good to have you here. Yeah, Maine, where they actually have winter. Okay. And we have some people who are love streaming. So if we could give a shaka to our love streamers. Oh, we welcome you and we love you. If you're watching us on our website, if you're watching us on the YouTube channel or Alelo television, however you may be watching us or listening to us on KSUN Radio in Wichita, we just welcome all of you here. And we're so grateful for you. And thank you for joining us in this Christmas season. We know that we are holding you in the light. We are holding you in the love that is God, knowing you are the presence of God in action, and there is no distance between you and us. We are one with you, and we welcome you to this loving ohana. Let's give them some love. All right, thank you for being here. Now, besides Jesus, there may be some other people born in December. Actually, scholars think maybe he wasn't born in December, but what the heck? Some of you were. And so, if you have a birthday this month, would you please stand and let's sing our birthday song? Yes!
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hallelujah.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, all right. And I believe we have some amazing announcements now from Johanna.
Yes, you
Okay.
believe correctly, Reverend Tim. So today, in our courtyard, after today's service, we have Sukio Mahikari down to provide no-touch energy healing services. So please feel free to stop by. This is all free of charge as you receive light from our Sukio Mahikari, community. And this Tuesday is our annual trolley ride, and I believe we do have a video. And we're going to play that video. All right, and it's going to be a great time. It's always been fun. We sing Christmas carols here in the chapel, and then we get onto the trolleys and we go and head out to the Honolulu City Lights. So please join us. We only have a couple of tickets left. So right after service, I know it's only about 30 tickets left out of about 200. So go down to Connection Central to secure your ticket today. $15 for adults, $5 for kids. And also, one other thing, I believe we are accepting volunteers as well. So we do still have some volunteers in order to make this night a success. Please stop by Connection Central to see how you may be of assistance. And this Friday, we have the Christmas classic, Spider-Man, Homecoming. Join us for a wonderful time here in the chapel and watch this holiday favorite, Spider-Man Homecoming, with us. There will be Bradley's famous popcorn as well. So join us. It's a free movie, and it's a time to really be in community with one another here and enjoy a great movie. And I think that's all that I have, but please, you have your bulletin. There are more opportunities to be of service, more opportunities to really enjoy this community. So look inside your bulletin for everything unity. And now let us prepare for a time of prayer with Reverend Tim.
Thank you, Johanna. And I would like for us to lift up at least a couple of our congregants, Fred Ball and Joyce Giardina, who have some health challenges. Let's lift them up in the light and know health and wholeness and peace with both of them. And also for our sister church in Nigeria and for the Pacific Rim region. You may not know that we're part of a region that is comprised of Chile, the Philippines, New Zealand, Australia, and so I'd like for us to remember the Pacific Rim region in our prayers. There's a lot going on in our world, right? It's hard to keep up sometimes. And rather than to curse the darkness, I think it's better to light a light. And this is what the season of Advent is about. Up on the altar is the Advent wreath. And up here are candles that symbolize various powers. One of them is the power of faith, the power to see the highest and best in life, no matter what the circumstances may look like. And so we light the candle of faith. That is the first of the Advent candles. And if you're unfamiliar with the metaphysical view of Advent, we have Advent booklets. They are available down in Connection Central, and also those who sign up as recurring contributors get one of those free along with a calendar. But I'd like for us to just settle in, take a deep breath, and we lift up our hearts into the presence of Spirit. We know right here and right now where we are, God is. All of God is fully and completely present right where you are. Whether you are sitting at home, whether you are in this physical proximity, wherever you are, God is. Let's lift up the concerns of our hearts in a moment of silence. Spirit, we know that this service is anointed. We know that every need is met. We know that every heart is touched, that the music and the spoken word is anointed by your power. And we open ourselves and welcome you, Spirit, to this service. We are grateful, and we say together, and so it is. Amen. And let us go more deeply as we sing ancient words.
Holy words, long preserved for for our walk in this world. They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope, give us strength, help us go in this world where'er we roam. Ancient words will guide us home. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Holy words of our faith, handed down to this age, came to us through sacrifice. Oh, heed the faithful words of Christ. Holy words, long preserved for our walk in this world. They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart.
On the monitor are the words of English that come from the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. And there are many nuances of meaning that come from the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. Let us connect to the energy of these words as we say this prayer together. Father, Mother, birther and breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire then acts through ours as energy fills all forms. Give us physical and spiritual nourishment each day. Untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Don't let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. Age to age, from you comes the glorious harmony of life. May these statements be fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen and amen.
Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart.
And at this time, Reverend Levitt will lead us in the daily word and in the morning meditation. Thank you, Reverend Levitt.
As Reverend Tim had mentioned, we have Advent booklets available down in Connection Central. I'll be reading from that today. It is the love and light of Christmas is the title. This is the first Sunday in Advent. Today's theme is faith, living faith. The same faith that was in young Mary as she set out on her journey to Bethlehem is available to me. It is part of my and our spiritual inheritance, a very part of our being. Like Mary, we hold to our faith when the way is unclear. We release any worry, doubt, or fear and listen to the still, small voice within. We open our hearts to divine guidance as we quiet our thoughts and become still the answers come. Our needs are met, and all is well. Today's scripture is from Matthew 6:30. It reads, "But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith?" Living faith. The reading is finished. And I invite you to settle in for a time of meditation, putting aside any physical items you might have brought with you. Also invite you to put aside any worries and doubts. Put them to the side as well. And when you leave this morning, please take your physical items, but you might want to leave all those doubts and worries right where you put them. If you so desire, close your outer eyes and let's breathe. For we know that it is the breath that takes us home to where we, God, and love are one. And this place, home, is always a breath away. Faith is indeed the rock upon which we stand. Faith in God. Faith in God's everywhere present. Knowing that wherever God is, we are. And wherever we are, God is. In this faith, we are shown the way, our way, to do the greater things that must be done by us. When things and times are unclear, it is not more things we need. It is to tap into more faith, the inexhaustible faith within. The faith of knowing that wherever we are, God is. And in this faith, let us rest for a few moments in the stillness. And now with a gentle breath, let us return our attention back to this time and place, overflowing with gratitude, knowing that faith in the everywhere presence of God is the rock upon which we stand. And so it is, and so we know it to be.
Starlight shines, the night is still, shepherds watch from a hill. I close my eyes, see the night when love was born. Perfect child gently wakes, a mother bends to kiss God's face. I close my eyes, see the night when love was born. They sing, hallelujah, he is Christ, our King. love come down for you and me. Heaven's gift, the holy spark to light the way inside our hearts. Bethlehem, through your small door came the hope we waited for. The world was changed forevermore when love was born. I close my eyes and see the night when love was born.
Rhea. Thank you, Rhea. That was amazing. I had not heard that song before. That is beautiful. The night love was born. We are going into the Christmas season, and what I'm looking at today is there is a light shining in the darkness. There are times in our lives where it seems like things are dark. It may be while we're going through a special health challenge or financial challenge. It might be while there's something difficult going on in our family. Maybe no one else knows about it. It may be something deep on the inside that doesn't even show up. But whatever it is, all of us at times face some dark times. And the scripture is rich with metaphysical truth. And it shows up in these beautiful symbols, symbols such as what shows up in the Christmas story. So I want to look at part of the Christmas story. And this comes from Matthew chapter 2, verse 2, the Living Bible. Where is the newborn King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in far-off eastern lands and have come to worship him. So first of all, you see here that there were some people, some wise men, the Magi, who were watching and looking for the light and saw the light a long, long ways off. And there are times in our lives when it seems like the light is hard to find, where the light is very far away. So, if you can see this picture, it's like the star shining over Bethlehem, symbolizing that light that exists wherever you are, whatever you're going through, whatever the difficulty. And looking at the power of faith, faith shows us the way. In Charles Fillmore's book, The Mysteries of Genesis, he talks about the creation process and ways in which we can create in our own lives. And look at the order of how things came about. And one of the very first things that happened is God says, "Let there be light." If there's darkness anywhere in your life, if there's darkness in the circumstances surrounding you, first declare, "Let there be light." Let's say that together. Let there be light. You said that with meaning. I love it. And you can declare that, you can own that, and you can know that regardless how things look on the outside, that there is light. And this light shows the Christ presence, the presence where God is. And that is the power of our faith. Faith is the power that declares there is light even when you can't see any. Faith is the power that declares there is light even when you can't see any. So we declare by using the power of faith, using our affirmations, declaring, let there be light. And the thing that is different about light and darkness is the absence of light. Darkness actually has no substance in and of itself. Light, however, has substance, has reality. And so when we claim the light, when we stand in the truth, when we stand in faith, then everything must align with that power of truth or else dismiss itself. When we stand in the truth, when we stand in the light, one either chooses to be enlightened or to leave. Because the light has power. The light has substance. And I love a passage that we'll look at a little bit later. But first of all, I want to look at something else. Who is this? This is, no, that's not me. It does look a little bit like me. I should have dressed up like this. That's a good thought. This is Waldo. Have you ever seen those pictures looking for Waldo? Where's Waldo? I mean, some of them are great. Like this one. Do you know where Waldo is? Waldo's in this picture. And sometimes life is like this. You're looking for God in the situation, but it looks like a mess. You know? Have you ever tried to find God in a mess? God is in the mess. God's there. God is everywhere, fully and completely present. God hasn't... Some of you are still looking for Waldo. I lost you. I can see your eyes. You're up here, right? Oh, where is it? You know, it took me about 20 minutes in this picture to find Waldo. It was a great diversion. Okay, let me see if I can show you. Will this laser work? Right there. See? There's Waldo. It took me about 20 minutes in this picture to find him. And sometimes it takes much longer than that to find God in the situation. Now, God is everywhere, but as Eric Butterworth says, we need to see rightly. One of the special things about Jesus was that he could see the presence of God in whatever situation or circumstance he was in. He wasn't blind to the situation. He could see what was really going on, and he could see how the presence of Spirit was working. He could see how God was working in the situation. So even when he was brought to be crucified, he told Pilate, you could do nothing unless it had been given to you by my Father. I mean, he had absolute trust in the process, even though he was about to be crucified, because he always saw God in the situation. That's some challenging work. That's what we mean by metaphysics. Metaphysics means meta, greater than or beyond the physical, physics. Greater than the physical, greater than the circumstances, greater than what you see on the outside is this presence of God that is everywhere fully and completely present, so present that that presence of God is living in you, closer than your breath, closer than your beating heart. Now here's another passage of Scripture. This comes from the Passion Translation, an interesting translation. John chapter 1, verse 5. It's speaking of the Christ presence. And this living expression is the light that bursts through gloom. I love that. Bursts through gloom. The light that darkness could not diminish. And in the Greek, that phrase, could not diminish, means a couple of things. First of all, the darkness could not overcome it. Darkness can never overcome light. Right? If you light a candle, the darkness can't overcome it because the light shines out in the darkness. And the second meaning in the Greek of could not diminish the light is the darkness could not comprehend it. Sometimes we wonder, why doesn't someone get this? Well, it's because they're not quite ready for it. And John had a double meaning for talking about the light. It's not only something that the darkness cannot overcome, the darkness cannot understand it. The light is what we stand in. And when we stand in it, everything comes into coherence around that light. In Advent, we are sometimes in the dark. Now, in some places of the United States or other parts of the world, this is a much darker time of year. I guess it has been darker here somewhat, more clouds, more rain. I know in Wichita, Kansas, where I was from, that that's interesting, where I was from. Just caught that. This time of year, it can be quite dark. It's cloudy. The sun comes up very, very late. The sun goes down very, very early. So a lot of times at work, I would go into work before the sun was up. When I get off of work, the sun was already down. I just felt like a mushroom, like I was living in the dark all the time. And at times, there are people in that area of the country that have to get light in their homes that simulates daylight because there's a lot of seasonal affective disorder. The acronym is SAD. Seasonal affective disorder, which, because of the depletion of light, they go into depression. And there's a number of us that would experience some of that, as we go into the darkness and wonder, where is the light? Now, there's someone who watches us online by the name of Lisa. And Lisa, if you're watching this, you're going to hear something for the first time. Lisa works at this wonderful venue in Wichita, Kansas, that does weddings and other events. And I did lots of weddings in Wichita. Oh my goodness, did I do a lot of weddings. And I worked very closely with a lot of wedding coordinators and so forth. And one of these places is this huge historic building. It looks like a castle. It's a Scottish Rite temple. It's huge. And some of it is quite ancient, and so I got turned around in there one night as I was getting ready for a wedding rehearsal. And I got lost in part of the building that was all dark, where the lights were not on. Have you ever been in a dark place where the lights aren't on? You're maybe searching for the light switch. Well, imagine being in like a dark castle, which is what this is like, a dark castle. There's no light switches to be found, and there's lots of staircases. Yep, I found the staircase. I didn't find the light, and I also found the bottom floor. I thought, oh, I think I'm close to the bottom. Whee! And so I took quite a spill right before the wedding rehearsal. I've never missed a wedding rehearsal. I have never missed a wedding. And so I came in. They didn't know anything had happened, even though I had fallen a long, long ways. It's scary to be in the dark. Sometimes I find it relaxing. But that's kind of when I know, somewhat my way around. If you're feeling like you're in the dark, if you're feeling like things around you are kind of treacherous or difficult, just know that where you are, God is. Where you are, the light is. Let's say that affirmation, let there be light. Again, let there be light. Declare that there is light wherever you are, using the power of faith, using the power of your belief, knowing that you are never deserted. You are never abandoned. There are times where you may feel abandoned. There are times where you may feel like things are just falling out from underneath me. But know that God's got this. God's got you. And wherever you are, God is. Aloha. Thank you.
There's a light at the end of the darkness, and it shines for all the world to see. It will shine on your heart if you will let it. I was blind when it finally shined on me. There is hope in that light for the hopeless, and a soothing balm for pain and misery. It's as near as your faith, though sometimes seems fleeting. I was blind when it finally shined on me. There's a light at the end of the darkness. So look up when you are down and try to believe. Sometimes we have to be knocked down to make us look upwards. I was looking up from the bottom when it finally shined on me. I was looking up through the bottom when it finally shined on me. Said I was looking up through the bottom when it finally shined on me. Amen. Merry Christmas.
Ah, that was perfect. Thank you. Another perfect song. Ah, that was beautiful. In your bulletins, there is the personal statement of intent for 2018. And if you would be praying and thinking about how you give, and I don't want to leave the online people out of this either. Sometimes we forget with the online folks, our Ohana that is all over the world, that you may want to be a part of this too in some way. You may wish to donate. And one of our licensed Unity teachers usually is not here, is usually out on the mainland and is traveling and in Texas and usually cannot be with us. We got the dogs going, eh? I mean, the dogs want in on this. They're like, we want to sign up too. So, Dr. Nancy Lytle is here with us, one of our licensed Unity teachers. Love you. I love Nancy. She is such a wonderful light. It is so good to have you here with us. Nancy went on a cruise around the islands and had such a wonderful time and is now back with us. And so for all of us and for those online, Nancy is usually watching us online. If you could tell us just a little bit about why tithing is important to you and why it's important to you to contribute to your spiritual home, which is us.
Aloha. It's a delight to be with you this morning. Yeah. And the spiritual practice of tithing has meant so much to me in my life. You know, for many years, I was brought up in kind of a lack mentality. And even giving was about fear. Even the old phrase of fire insurance, have you ever heard that term? That you gave to kind of make it more likely that you'd be in heaven as opposed to the alternative. But you know, it's not about that at all for me anymore. It's such a blessing to be able to participate actively in that divine flow of giving and receiving. You know, one of our ministers at one of my first Unity churches used to say, give until it hurts real good. And I love that idea. The more you give, the better it feels. And the richness of the blessings that flow back to and from me. You know, and I see this intentional giving. This was something that I learned from one of my mentors, Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt. And when I was an intern here in 2012, we had a meeting with the board, and I got Linda on a call, and we talked about this. You know, it's a way to really step into more fully who you are here to be as an expression of the divine, knowing with faith that all you give will return to you in riches, so much more than you could ever imagine. That's been my experience. You know, people often say to me, you are living a blessed life. And I am divinely blessed. And part of that flow began when I became a cheerful giver, when I became a faith-filled giver. And we talked a lot about faith today and how we can give before we even fully know what is meant to be for us. But I encourage you to take whatever the next step is for you. You know, I've been an intentional, regular online giver for a number of years with this community. It's my ohana. And I'm going to take the next step for me today. I'm going to ramp up what I was doing. And you can do that too. It's about making the commitment and allowing Source to flow in and through and as you. Mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Wow, that was great. Thank you. So as we prepare to receive the morning offering, here come our wonderful smiling ushers. We place our offering over our heart or between our hands. We bless this offering in the consciousness that we are recirculating the abundance of our lives, placing it into this wonderful spiritual community, knowing we receive back 100-fold in all ways without making that the motive of our giving, but giving out of generosity and joy. And we give thanks, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
To the newborn King, let our voices sing him our praises. Hail, hail to the guiding light that brought us tonight to our Savior. Hail, hail,
Hallelujah.
hail, hail,
Hallelujah.
hail, hail,
Hallelujah.
hail, hail. Here we go.
Come now, let it shine so bright to the knowing light of the stable. Feel close to the child so dear. Cast aside your fear and be thankful.
Hail to the newborn King, let our voices sing him our praises. Hail, hail to the guiding light that brought us tonight to our Savior. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hail, hail to the newborn King, let our voices sing him our praises. Hail, hail to the guiding light that brought us tonight to our Savior. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Perfect. Oh, that was great. Thank you. And you can turn in those intentional giving forms into the offering, or you can turn them into the front office, or, pray over those. Those of you who are online, there's a place for you to do that or to donate online. We just appreciate everyone's faithfulness in giving, and as we extend our hands to this offering, we bless this offering in the consciousness, knowing it represents infinite substance of which there is no lack or limitation, circulating the light of the world which we are. And together we say, and so it is. Amen, amen. Good to have you all here. Thank you. Oh, it's good to have Reverend Margie Hyatt with us also, one of our longtime folks. All right, let's all stand, join hands, and let's sing together our peace song and then Aloha Oe.